curiosity, passion, perseverance, imagination, being open, some really tough fingertips, and the ability to sit on pavement for days on end. That sums up my job description. I'm a street painter. I discovered street painting in what I call a happy accident when I stumbled upon it at the Santa Barbara Street Painting Festival in 1997. When I saw what the artists there were creating on the pavement, amazingly beautiful pictures, large-scale drawings, I just couldn't believe my eyes. So I decided I had to sign up the following year. This was my tribe. I needed to be with these people. So in 1998, I drew my first drawing. What I love about street painting is it has two qualities that really appeal to me. The first one is that it's ephemeral. It's a non-permanent art form. It only has a short lifespan. It lasts a few days. And I liken it to a piece of music or poetry being recited or even a flower growing. That makes it extra special for me because it taught me how to let go of the art and let it be what it is. It's really about process. The other aspect to the street painting art form that I love is the performance-based aspect. It really takes the artist out of the studio, an isolated place, into the public eye, so that the audience, you, actually become part of the drawing. You complete my drawing for me when you interact with it. This is such a magical aspect that I really fell in love with this art form. So, fast forward a couple of years, and I started playing with the 3D technique into my artwork. And I thought, wow, I really want to get people more engaged in my drawings, so how can I do that? Well, let me create images that allow them to step in and be a part of my imaginary world. So at that time, there were no schools, no books, and no blogs that taught this technique. I had to go out and educate myself. So I read books by Andrea Del Pozo, a Baroque master in anamorphic projection. And I consulted with math professors in Mexico City on a complex perspective and how could I make my artwork work the way I wanted it to. And just so you know, the definition of 3D artwork for me is a two-dimensional drawing that's created on a flat surface, like a pavement or a sidewalk, that appears to be three-dimensional when viewed from a fixed point with a camera lens. Okay, so I continued drawing and found a passion and was so excited about this. I wound up working with groups and I thought, gosh, wouldn't it be great if I could turn this hobby into a profession? So I set the intention out there. I would love to do this for a living. If someone had told me that an option to draw on the street for a living 20 years ago was out there, I would have laughed. But I wanted to do this so desperately. So I dreamed big. And lo and behold, as of now, the dream has come true. I've been fortunate enough to be invited to places like the Olympics and film premieres and international art festivals to draw and share my vision. So, moving forward in my personal journey and exploration of my work, I found that I was traveling and being invited to go around the world to share what I had created. So, traveling around and meeting people like you while I'm drawing made me aware that there was a curiosity about what I was doing. How did I come up with a 3D image? How did I come up with an interactive image? What's the science behind this? People really wanted to know. So as a result of that, I decided to incorporate a workshop program into my appearances worldwide. And my workshops were geared to anyone, from 9 to 94, high school students, elementary school students, adults, anybody that wanted to learn, anybody that wanted to express themselves creatively and be part of this magic. As you can see here, these are some college students from IIT Kanpur in India. I had the good opportunity to travel there with the US consulate on a teaching tour a couple of years ago. And these students are tech guys. They don't draw. At least they don't draw with chalk. So I had an open workshop for 3 days, and people just started coming. It was a spontaneous creation of artwork. I had 30 people working on the drawing at once, and they kept coming back, and they wanted to learn. This was the result of their piece. I think it was a pretty good example of a basic three-dimensional piece. It's a reflecting pool of the Taj Mahal, and the students couldn't have been more excited. Here's a piece that I did when I was traveling to Hong Kong. It's a multi-surface piece. I did a wall and a floor piece together. It's meant to be interactive so that the viewers coming through that hallway would actually have to step on the stones to avoid the tigers that were attacking. As a part of that experience in Hong Kong, I created a workshop program for local high school students. And these young ladies did not know very much about two-point perspective or three-point perspective, let alone drawing something that stood up off the ground in anamorphic projection. Here's the result. We did pieces of furniture, basic tables. This young lady was very pleased with her piece, and I think she did a really good job. This was a 2-hour workshop. Here's a piece that I did in the Caribbean for a community festival, and the intention of this piece was to get a lot of people to interact like it was actually part of the landscape there. This is a young man, as part of that workshop component, 7 years old, had never drawn on the street before. He's drawing an anamorphic pineapple. He was so excited, he came back 3 days in a row. Here's a result of his piece. And here are some students from Japan, 7 years old to 10 years old, also never drawn anything in perspective before. They're drawing their first cup of tea. I think they did a really good job, actually, 7 years old. And here are some high school students from an art school in Florida, and they assisted me on a larger piece called Hot Asphalt. And I taught them techniques to use when you want to make the painting look like it's falling into the ground, or elements of the painting that want to rise up off the ground. It was a lot of fun. And finally, here are some students from India. This was a street painting workshop that I conducted at an art school there. These students spontaneously created artworks all over the campus through the course of 3 days, and I think what they created was fantastic. So, I'd like to conclude by saying that I am an example of one person who surely has the world in her grasp. I stumbled upon street painting by accident, followed my heart, and allowed my inner creative world to merge with the larger global community. It's been an exciting ride. So, in an effort to inspire and invigorate each of you and empower each of you, I would offer, dream big, listen to your heart, be open to the unexpected, and follow your own dimensional vision. Thank you very much.